Hi there, in this lesson we're going to learn about contact forms. A contact form is the form that you usually see on your Contact Us page. It basically consists of name, contact number, email address, and sometimes a comment section where people can leave, so it's quick and easy for them to contact you. You get simple variations, and then you also can make it really, really complicated. So in this lesson I'm going to show you how to install them and how to set them up. As you can see, when you go onto your own contact page, the form that you've had loaded automatically is a very basic form. That's with a plugin called Everest Forms. The form that I'll be using here is a different plugin called WP Forms. So I'm going to show you how to install that. There's different forms that I use depending on what the client needs. Because they're free, they all have different functionality. For example, WP Forms, this one that I'm using here, you don't have options for the client to upload a file like an image. So if you want to have a form where a client can upload their logo, you need to use a different form. But I'll explain all of that as we go along. Okay, so WP Forms is great because it's a very nice looking form, and it also comes with an option to add these image choice boxes, which I quite like. So somebody can just click on what they're actually looking for. So if somebody wants web design, they want their hosted, and they prefer some video adverts, they can send you all of those. Pick the choices instead of it just being a selection with wording. So I quite like this one, and I use it quite often. And then obviously they can send their comment and selection, and you click submit, and you will then get that email. Okay, so let's get started on how we actually set this whole form up. Okay, so if you go to your dashboard, you will see that your forms are usually put over here in the left hand column. Everest Forms is the one that comes already installed with your theme. So I'm going to click on that just to show you what it looks like. If you go into all forms, if you're doing just a simple form on your site with no extra functionality, you can actually use one of these forms. So here you will see you will actually be given a whole bunch of different forms that are pre-installed. Okay. What you see over here is the short code. Okay. Now, what the short code is, you insert this onto the page, and that will then, as soon as the site goes live, it'll actually pull up the form. So let me quickly go into the actual contact page. I'm going to go back there quickly. Okay, so once you're on your contact page, you edit with Elementor, and then you pull your mouse down in this little square over here, right click, edit the shortcode, and here you can see your shortcode on the left hand side. Okay, you'll see here it's WP Forms ID 1248. If we now go back to our Everest Forms, we can see here's all the shortcodes for the Everest form. So on your site, when you first load your contact page, you will have one of these forms loaded, and the way to tell which one it is to check over here, and then you can go in. If you're just using a simple contact form and you're happy with Everest Forms, you can literally just go in. I'm just going to choose one from the top and show you how to edit it. Okay, so you can see your form has just got the standard name, email, subject, and message. If you'd like to add a feature to that, like for example, maybe you'd like to add a multiple choice where they can choose one option, you can literally just click it and drag it to where you'd like it to be. Okay, so let's put that in between the subject and the message. You will then have a multiple choice box added. Okay, and then once that comes up, as you can see, you can just click on it anywhere, and it'll come up in the left, and you can then go in and edit your choices. Once you're happy with editing your choices and you've changed them to what that you want them to be, you click on your save button, and that will then update your form. I can't show you the updated version of the form because this one's not actually installed on the site. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and show you on one of the forms that I do have installed on the site how to do that, which is basically this plugin over here called WP Forms. You will notice I've got quite a few forms in WP Forms. This dashboard looks a little bit different. Here is your shortcode on the right hand side, and This is the contact form that I have got on the contact page of this website. So I'm going to click it open so that you can have a look. Okay, so here's the form. This is the WP contact form. As you can see, if you scroll down, it's got these picture choices, which I quite like. You can give them various options, and they can go in and decide which one they want to choose. I quite like this idea because it's very visual, and people are visually minded these days. It's better than just having website design with a little box that they check. But not all of them offer this, so that's why I urge you to choose what is important for your client and then decide which contact form you're going to use. Okay, so let me show you how you would set something like this up. I'm going to go back to our forms, and here you can see where we have got it installed on our form builder. You can just click anywhere on the form to actually go into the editing button. This label at the top over here, you can see we've put in on the label. And then instead of having your choices typed into the box here, we've actually just added images to each of them instead of the heading. So if you'd added your heading in over here, like website design there, it would just be a list, and you would just be able to check it on the checkbox. How you do that is you scroll down and you basically just tick use image choices instead of it being unchecked where it wouldn't use the image choices at all. And then if you want it to be a required option, you basically just tick on required. You do need to have the pictures uploaded pre-ready to upload. Your images are not cropped or resized. For best results, they should be the same size and 250 by 250 pixels or smaller. So it gives you those guidelines over there. It's really handy to have them all the same size, otherwise these over here are not going to be the same size. Okay, so that's the picture choices. Let's see what else you can do with this form. I'm going to go to the top and go to all fields. I'm going to also just go to the top of this field. Here you can see you have a drop down checkboxes. That one that we have is a checkbox, so you can check off more than one. Multiple choice means you can only choose one of however many choices you have. These are all pretty standard. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to put a drop down in. Decide where you would like to put it. So I'm going to put it over here just under email and before our picture selections. You click on the drop down and drag it to where you want it to be. You can see it takes a little bit while to load, and then I basically just click over here in the middle, which will bring up your choices over here. Let's say, for example, we want to ask them how many pages they would like. You just type in your heading, how many pages, and then you add your choices in. So, for example, we can type in here 1, 2, 3 pages. Say 3 to 5, and then here you can have 5 plus. If you want it to be a required option, you just click on required, and you'll see it will be added, and you always click on save. Okay, so let's go and have a look how this looks on the actual form. I'm going to go to our contact page. You can see it's not added yet because I haven't refreshed the page. As soon as I refresh the page, there you will see our drop down selection has been added, and you can literally just drop down and you can click how many you want it. Okay. Okay, so we're going back to the editing side of the contact form. So now you're probably wondering, how am I going to get this form? Once they filled it in, how am I going to get the form sent to me? This is what you would set up in settings. Here's your form name. You can change that as well if you wanted to. Your button that you're going to submit is a submit button. You can have it send. You can say whatever you wanted to say. While it's busy sending, this is what it'll say over here. Okay. So if you want to add something funny in there or whatever, you can change that text. Don't worry too much about all of this. If you go to your notification setting, you will see here your default notifications. So if you leave these to defaults, It's literally going to send it to your admin email. Okay, so you would need to change this to the email address that you want it sent to. Okay, your name of the site goes here, so it'll always say new entry, simple contact form. You can change that to whatever the email subject is that you wanted to say. I would always change your from email to the same email that you're receiving it from, or unless you would like the form to go to your Gmail, but you want the email to say it comes from your domain name. Okay. Your reply to email, that would be your default email as well. So this is the email that the people would see that they can reply to, so you can change that to whichever email you want it to be. And then this is a message that will show, just leave this as all fields, because then it will show everything that is in the actual form. Okay, once you've set this up, you simply click save again, and your form will then be done. Okay, if you go into confirmations, this is what will come up. So once somebody's clicked the send button, they will see, thanks for contacting us, we will be in touch shortly. Okay, you're welcome to change that. You can also decide, once that they have received the message, you can go to a different page afterwards. If you click on this, you can see that you just type in the page that you'd like them to see after they've actually submitted the button. Yeah, so there's quite a lot that you can do with the form. This is especially important if they're filling in a join up form. They would go in join up, and then straight after they've filled in the form, they will get redirected to the next step of your joining process. Okay. So that's basically contact forms in a nutshell. What I want to do is I want to show you, if you go onto your plugin page, that there are actually quite a lot of forms available for you. Let's just go down, scroll on the left, go into plugins. I'm going to go add new. This is also how you would install the different contact forms if you want something more than just the Everest forms. So basically, once you've clicked on add new, you search for plugins, you type in here contact forms, and you will see a selection that will come up. Okay, you can see there's quite a lot of different options that you have available. Let me just scroll back up again quickly. I really like WP Forms. I have tried contact form. I never found it really that great. WP Forms looks nice. It's got everything that you need. If there is some functionality that your client needs that it doesn't offer in the free version, you're welcome to get in touch and let us know, and we can advise which form, if we have a form available that we know that can do that. Otherwise, you're welcome to also play around with some of these forms, see which ones suit you better, if there's one that you prefer. There's really no right or wrong when it comes to plugins. If you happen to find a form, or any other plugin for that matter, that suits you better, you're welcome to use it. Most of them are fairly easy to use. You just have to read the instructions and just play around with it, basically. Okay, so now that you know how to do your contact form and you've been through all the other lessons, your site should be pretty much at the stage where you can go live. And I'm really excited to see the end result, what your website looks like when it's finished. So please let us know once it's done so we can go and take a look. And then we can start with the other aspects, like where to find clients, how to advertise, and all of that. So yeah, we'll see you there.